Captain's Log, Stardate 54218.8. The Monarch is currently on course for Outpost 519 near the Talarian border. The Outpost has missed its last two regular updates. Starfleet has become concerned that this might be a prelude to an invasion from an unknown hostile or the resurgence of another foe. Several Starfleet vessels have gone missing the past few weeks in different regions of Federation space. As to the cause of this is still yet unknown. What is more worrisome is that an outpost long-standing has gone dark. While this news is disconcerting, I have the utmost faith in this ship and crew to find out what is going on. End log.
All right, so that is today's mission, essentially. But I will put you guys far enough away from the outpost to allow you a little bit of time for some free role play. So it's enough time to maybe go to the mess hall, grab a lunch, talk to whoever, maybe finish up a holodeck program or two, whatever you guys want to role play for a few moments. Have at it. But don't everyone jump up at once.
Well, the doctor will be down or up, as this case may be, in the senior officer's mess, kind of standing there, very much involved in something on a pad that he's reading, while kind of just at the standing by the replicator unit, ordering a pastrami and Swiss on rye with potato chips and a cup of coffee, which he'll kind of still only half paying attention to where he's walking because of what he's reading on the pad, make his way to an empty table by a port.
You said this was in sickbay?
No, I'm at the officer's mess, wherever that is.
I'd be happy to be getting lunch too. She'll be looking for some sushi, a plate of sashimi or something, and make her way. Maybe it's that time of day for food consumption. So I'd be happy to be on that map too.
Matt Polian.
I know.
Oh my god, I just got that. That is amazing.
That was a very delayed replicator button push.
Coolio. She'll glance around, see the doctor, and glance around some more. Maybe huff a little bit. She determines where she wants to go here. She'll have a sashimi plate. Looks like this, full of a bunch of little goodies on it. We'll call that sashimi plate number 265. Japan Earth.
Is that like half a prawn?
It's shrimp. It looks like they have some wasabi there, some garnish, and some salmon and Spanish mackerel, and it looks like yellowtail on the left-hand side, and the back looks like tuna. They call the shrimp epi because it's raw shrimp. It's eyeballs and everything.
Ah, the Japanese and their game shows.
Yeah, I don't know what that red stuff is in the front. Some sort of garnish, I think. I don't know why they'd put a daisy in there. That's got to be some sort of California thing. They got daisies in Japan? I don't know. And they would make a flower and call it daisies.
The red stuff in the front is dulse. It's a type of seaweed. Pretty common in my area.
Ah, it is cool. I know what that is. Thanks. Dulce, you said?
Yeah, Dulce. It
Dolce.
kind of tastes really sour, not sour, salty. Not much other flavor to it.
Cool. After she notices that there's no one else in the place, she will walk over to the doctor and she'll say, "Do you mind if I sit?"
Counselor, no, please. And I kind of gesture at an empty chair.
She sits down casually, thinking of the collectivism studies that she's done in the past.
Collectivism studies?
Yep. Her need to kind of go over towards other people.
Oh. So what are you up to today, Doctor?
Got a few people that I'm meeting with. The same old, same old. And she points down to the plate. Trying to get a meal in before we reach our destination.
Yeah, the Talarian Empire, or Republic, rather.
Do we know much about the ships that have gone missing? Like what class ships? Talarian Republic.
I don't, but even though Starfleet considers the Republic's technology behind ours, they've gotten a little frisky since the end of the Dominion War and the weakening of the Cardassian Empire. They've attempted to subsume a few Cardassian worlds into their own republic, but the Cardassian fleets have thus far managed to stave them off.
She picks up a piece of the tuna, puts it in her mouth, and just kind of eats it. Has that kind of slow look, like I don't know, like she's eating because she has to eat, not because she's in the mood for it.
With his mouth half full of sandwich, Blackwell says, "You all right there? You don't look like you're particularly enjoying that. Although, to be fair, it's raw fish, so why would you? But still."
I don't know, she says, maybe I'm just feeling a little down.
I kind of nudge the pad slightly aside in a kind of physical symbol of putting something aside. Well, counselor, I'm all ears. What has you down in the dumps?
She shrugs her shoulders. I don't know if it's anything in specific.
Well,
Sometimes I have these moments of boredom. I think it's my Delton side, wanting to experience new things. They say the Delton women are quite sophisticated, just as I don't know what that's supposed to mean.
well, I'm not really sure what that's supposed to mean either. But from my experience, it's painting an entire culture or species with one particular attribute is more dangerous than it is informative. So, not so much down as bored, eh?
Yeah. I don't know. Stereotypes can be real. I guess it's not fair to me to paint the brush like that. Paint with a brush like that. She says, what about you? She looks down. Medical journals? Family?
I nod. Yeah, I'm reading up on... I've lost the name of the disease. Was it Braxia syndrome? Was the Vulcan condition?
Did you say that out loud?
No, I'm asking the GM because I can't lay my
Oh, I gotta remember
Finger.
that myself.
in my notes.
She'll break off the head of the shrimp. Makes a
Bendii
cracking noise.
syndrome.
Bendii syndrome, yeah.
The backside of it.
Yeah, I'm bunning up on my research, and I kind of, make a slight move of disgust at the eating the head of the shrimp, or breaking off the head of the shrimp. I'm reading up on Bendii syndrome after our encounter with Vamev. There's not a lot of research done on it, or at least not that the Vulcans have made available. It's another one of their damn taboos. But there should be something with all of our technology we could do about it. In fact, I'm wondering, our last mission aboard my last mission aboard the Hadfield had to do with Metreon radiation.
Is that pastrami?
Yes. Or at least the replicator's facsimile of it.
It looks aesthetically pleasing.
Metaphasic radiation has remarkable regenerative properties. If there was some, but unfortunately it's unstable. If you're not constantly exposed to it, whatever condition that it's helping to mitigate is immediately comes back. The Bajoran scientists on the research station that the Hadfield was visiting were working on an attempt to try and stabilize it. And I just keep coming back to that. And if we could figure out a way to stabilize a regular infusion of metaphasic radiation, we might be able to turn back the formation of plaques in the Vulcan brain that charges Bendii syndrome. It's a project worth pursuing, but...
Plaque, that's like, does it affect the blood, she says? Is it something that just adheres to the brain?
It's fundamentally it is a substance that accrues over time with those affected with Bendii syndrome, and with similar effects in some ways to Earth's to Alzheimer's in humans, that over time builds up along the ganglia of the brain and interferes with neural electrochemical transmissions, effectively at some points cutting off certain areas of the brain, and particularly happening in areas dealing with, in humans, the cases with memory. In Vulcans, it's with emotional, kind of their frontal cortex rationality section of the brain, if you will, that allows them to control their emotions.
Right. So is that hereditary, or is there something that causes that particular plaque to occur?
Again, there's not much information on it because the Vulcans don't like to talk about it, and it appears to be the Vulcan equivalent of when, crazy aunt Vimel starts emoting over much, you do whatever the Vulcan version of sticking her in the attic is. So they don't like to talk about it, and not much research has been done on it. And in fact, they've convinced themselves that there hasn't been a case in centuries.
I like the broad brush you're painting with. Yeah, they can be quite secretive of their information.
Mm. Well, and everybody has the right to their, cultural quirks, but when it comes to a medical matter that might actually be resolvable. But in any event,
Right.
we're wandering rather far from your malaise.
No, it's okay. It's just as I know the frustration that must be there. It's just as a doctor. Damn it, man! I'm trying to help you. Just tell me more information. So are you getting anywhere with it?
As I said, I've just started trying to catch up on what research there is, and the metaphasic radiation is just an idea I've been toying with since running into it, but it's a long-term research project to be sure.
So is there a way to replicate the plaque to make it worse? She says. That might give you a way to understand how it grows itself.
In Vimev's case, probably the chronoton radiation may have kicked it into an early onset, but as far as anyone knows, Van Dye syndrome is hereditary.
What if the plaque's removed? Could you remove plaque and conduct a surgery like that, a brain surgery?
Unfortunately, even with modern technology, such a surgery is destructive. There's no way to do it and leave the patient alive. We're dealing with very complex, very small elements, and honestly, even today, we don't understand this bit of meat in our noggins as fully as we do many other things.
Well, if you'd ever like to talk about that or discuss it, I would love to hear all about it. She says how you're going to invent the toothbrush or the toothpaste to remove the plaque from Vulcan's brains. She smells.
Well, we'll see. But in any event, it's keeping my mind off what we may be wandering into.
I should get a sandwich. I'm gonna get a sandwich. That looks really, really good.
Yeah, take the raw fish with you.
Yeah. Does it smell? Is this?
No, I'm sure it's fine.
She smells kind of brightly. Yeah, and she picks up the little shrimp head and she kind of like, ooh, like kind of waves it at him.
Yes, thank you, Charlie Chaplin.
She smiles again. She takes the plate away. She replicates herself. One pastrami sandwich per the doctor's previous order.
All right. Anyone else want to do a little roll? All right. If not, we will jump right into it.
Later on the bridge.
Thanks, Blackwell. It is fun.
Yeah, it's always a hoot.
All right, the ship will drop out of warp, and on the view screen, you can see Outpost 519. It is a standard Federation Border Patrol outpost that is heavily damaged. You can make out sizable hull breaches that you could see even without your sensors, and a massive debris field surrounds the outpost.
Lieutenant, can you get a sensor lock and scan for any survivors?
Sorry, is that me you're speaking to?
Yes.
Sorry. Yes.
All right, go ahead and roll me a control science difficulty 1, assisted by sensor science.
Control science difficulty 1, assisted by sensors. Okay. Control science and assist by sensors.
I guess that could be control or reason.
If you're giving me the option for reason, I will go with reason. Does my astrophysics focus play in?
No.
Pardon?
No.
Okay. Okay, that is everything. Yes. Okay.
What was the difficulty?
1. Base 1.
We have advanced sensors.
Then 0. Did you give me threat or did you just roll 3 by accident?
Mistake. I'll reroll. Sorry.
No, you're good. I'll just drop the last one.
Okay.
Let me get my threat proper here.
That's very odd. Sir, there's no life signs or biological remains evident. The debris field is consistent with Federation materials. But what I'm really puzzled about is that there's no remains of anything biological. The debris field is consistent with an antimatter explosion or explosions. But aside from that, I can't really say much. I'm just very confused over. There should be biological remains and destruction this vast. That's bizarre.
Perhaps taken captive, Captain?
Perhaps. There's no other signs of any other vessel activity?
Not that I had scanned for, but I can see if there's any lingering energy signatures or something of that sort. And yeah, GM will do that.
So what are you looking for or asking?
If there's any like signatures of someone recently having warped away or anything of that sort, or basically signs of recent ship activity, aside from the debris field, obviously.
That's 1 free one.
Cool. Seems like the ship's warp core's overloaded, but I'm not detecting any ship activity in the area. So either whatever happened here happened long enough ago that any remaining signs have since faded, or they're using technology our sensors cannot detect. Would be my options.
Number 1, put together an investigation team. Let's see if we can't recover any black boxes or sensor data from the outpost if possible. Real, I want to say because I'm assuming you don't have Studious, Nudon. I don't think you do.
Sorry, what was the question?
Do you have Studious as like one of your talents? And looking at it now, you don't.
Oh,
I was to see if you get another free question or not.
I do not have Studious. I have Former Initiate, Testing Theory, Baffling Briefing, and Theory into Practice.
The only other question would be for the debris field. RB. Lieutenant, in the debris field, is it just consistent with the outpost, or is there other vessels that could be identified? The outpost is known to take in several different free traders in the area.
I will take it.
Yeah, I use that as a question if I can get it. Otherwise, I'll see if I can run some physics models to see if there was more than one epicenter of the debris fields and provide the answer. I'm happy to do a skill roll if that is needed.
Nope. I'll give you that as a moment.
Captain, the debris field is consistent with 3 different explosion epicenters, probably 3 different vessels. I'd assume like cargo vessels, given some of the debris, character of the debris. Plus, of course, there's debris from the station itself at Salbridges, and it's obviously quite damaged, as we can see. So that would be what my initial analysis would suggest, anyway.
Thank you, Lieutenant. Commander DeGrasse, begin organizing investigation teams. See if we can't locate any black boxes or sensor data from what's left of potentially a computer core on the outpost.
Of course, Captain.
Or any logs, for that matter.
Since Blackwell's at one of the secondary science stations, can I scan to see if there's still atmosphere and life support aboard the outpost?
Go ahead and roll me a reason. I'm assuming your best at science, Doc.
Medicine, but yeah, I mean, I'm good at science.
Okay, yeah, we'll go. Reason, science,
Okay.
difficulty 2, assisted by the ship's sensors, science.
Okay, I think I have.
Advanced sensors kick in.
Yes, yep. So it'll be difficulty 1 at the end.
Okay, I'll just roll it straight. I don't have a focus. Let me click that off. There we go. Yay.
There you go, Doc.
Captain, the station has sustained damage from close-range antimatter explosions, and there's currently no power. All systems appear to be unresponsive, including live support. I recommend anyone on the away team should be using EVA suits. Again, there are no life signs on the station either. Radiation might also be a concern from the antimatter.
Well, EVA should protect the away team.
Agreed.
Very well. I'll see to it, Captain. And we don't have Casey here, so let's take Blackwell, the counselor, and Marora as part of the away team.
Yes, sir.
The counselor will almost top out of her seat.
The doctor will be sure and grab med kit as well as emergency surgical kit just in case.
Yeah, so you can pretty much just tell me what you guys are bringing with you, because you're not in a time crunch or anything.
So I'm gonna take a basic engineering tools kit.
That's standard for chief engineers, so it's not gonna cost us anything. But I think you're waiving all the opportunity costs.
Yes.
So EVA suits for everybody.
There will be an air of
CC.
excitement. The counselor. She seems excited to be on this away mission. You guys say she has a smile on her face.
Are there advanced engineering toolkits? Or do we just have access to basic?
You could bring certain things that would not be in a kit.
Okay.
Might we want transporter enhancers, pattern enhancers rather?
Yeah. Let's do that. I'm trying to think of any like engineering or repair related material that we could take. I'm guessing we could just communicate back with the ship, I guess, if we need anything. No real time crunch, so.
Yeah, I think we have to determine what is wrong before I can figure out what tools I'm gonna need.
Yep. All right, yeah. I mean, if we don't need anything else, then I guess we're good to go.
All right, I just need that difficulty 3 transporter roll.
Be difficulty advanced sensors.
3.
Would that kick it
Be
down to 2?
It sure would.
Tell the doctor that's difficulty 3.
We could always take a shuttle. In fact, I think that might be, if we're going to take this extra gear, we might want to take a shuttle.
So activating night.
Which don't forget to upgrade.
Yeah, she's close to being fully upgraded. Like, no joke. I don't know what to give her right now.
Send you down, so I'll get you back.
Did value focus department. I'll do attribute. Real quick.
I think every ship has that one support character that's just maxed out.
Yep.
Yeah.
And it's generally the transporter chief.
Usually it is. So putting one attribute point into control for Freya.
Cool.
Take a threat to activate bold.
Ooh, I like threat.
Doctor, you step into my power once again. Told you you'd get over that fear of transporting.
Yes, well, just remember your physical's coming up soon.
Transporting to a station, EV suits. She says, "What's not to like?" She'll look over at DeGoss. Thank you for including me in this mission, sir.
Well, of course.
And
Wouldn't
we
have left your talents on the bridge.
Let's just get
Dude.
this over with.
Yeah.
Crushed it.
Yeah, it's a crush.
Crushed it.
yeah, she basically transports you right in the middle of the engineering section, where basically you probably
It's max momentum at this point.
Yep.
She's never gonna let me live this down. Never hear the end of this.
and then at this point we will enter scene 2, so we'll knock you guys down a peg.
Hmm.
Ed always trying to knock us down when we're trying to stand up.
That's kind of
Yep.
sad because we had a float too. Oh,
So you guys are transported to the outpost, and of course it is pitch black in there as there is no lighting at all. Quick tricorder scans do indicate that all power systems, including the backups and auxiliaries, even emergency power, is currently out at the moment. And the gravity plating is also disabled, so everything is currently floating. Debris, tools, tricorders, data pads. Everything you expect that isn't bolting down is currently floating around the city.
I'll activate the magnetic boots in the EVA suit. Turn on the built-in flashlight in the wrist.
Right, you have to do the sound effect, so.
Shoo, shoo.
Blackwell should.
Can I roll on an insight roll? Into do I feel anything ominous here? Any ominous emotions around us? Not party, but anything beyond.
All right, DeGrasse, it is your show.
DeGrasse is going to enjoy the feeling of just being weightless, just for a few moments, and then right onto the ground. Do we see any blood? Anything that's organic of any nature?
You do not.
All right, so DeGrasse is going to turn to Marora and say to Marora, how long do you think it's going to take to get the power back on and everything in relatively functioning order?
Can I find a console that is working, or is everything just completely dead?
So all the computers are out also, so we'll have you do a tricorder scan. Go ahead and let's make this a difficulty 2 engineering. Let's go insight engineering. Difficulty 2.
Would my either computers or EPS focus come into play?
No.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend the threat, spend the momentum to get rid of that complication.
Okay, so you use momentum to roll the third dice, and then you're spending 2 more to get rid of complication.
Oh, I'm on 3 dice. I didn't realize. I guess yes. That's what I'm doing.
All right.
Sorry.
All right. You do a quick scan of the area. You figure that you could probably get emergency power, the structural integrity field, and force fields back up. You could get life support back up, and you feel that you could probably get partial computer systems back up with the emergency power remaining.
And how long would it take me to do that?
It's really like once you get emergency power, it's really just rerouting the power to the different areas. So an hour and a half tops.
All right, Commander. I just need to get the power in the backup power on. Once I get that on, it shouldn't be too bad. I would say give me about an hour, and I should have it done for you.
Excellent. Please see to it. And if you need any specialized equipment or any help, don't hesitate to let the Monarch know.
Yes, sir. And I'll run off and start doing that.
This place feels pretty empty, Commander.
I agree.
Blackwell
You
will
feel any-
scan for any evidence of life signs, genetic trace material, stuff like that. Need me to roll? Oh, there it is.
And then Moreau, to get the emergency power back on, this is going to be a control engineering difficulty 2. And your EPS systems will probably work for this.
Okay. I'm gonna go ahead and spend another momentum to give me 3 dice.
And I believe you guys are at 1 momentum.
Prax is AFK.
Wow.
Ooh. I'd definitely re-roll some of that.
Do we have? How do I do that? Do we have momentum for that, or do I have to give threat?
You could use your determination for a reroll if you wish.
Yeah, I'll do that.
And you do have a value that will fit. So
So I can reroll all 3 of them.
yes.
That's much better.
And you guys are back up to 2 momentum. And you hear a nice little click on of the power, and the red emergency lights are now on.
Any signs of combat? Phaser burns on the wall. Stuff looks like it's been, interior combat. I know there are holes in the. I'm assuming Blackwell, as a vet of the Dominion War, would recognize such signs. Nope, it's remarkably clean. Commander, I'm not getting any genetic markers or traces any later than 2 weeks ago, about the time the station lost contact.
Interesting. Counselor, Do you feel anything?
Nope, like I said, she says this place feels empty.
Well, let's have a look around while Aurora gets everything back online. Where are we at in the station?
Engineering.
Yeah, you're probably in the engineering section. And then, just going through the doors, you probably get to the little living area, the little mess area, kitchenette area, or mess area.
Yeah, let's go check out the mess areas. See if we notice anything unusual.
All right, I'll
Go
get
with the commander.
Yep, I'll get back to you guys in a second. Marora, what's the next thing you would like to do?
All right, we have emergency power back on. First thing I would like to do is turn on life supports, and then I would like to work on gravity.
Okay, to turn the life support systems back on, this is going to be a difficulty 1. Probably control engineering as well. And I noticed you had a life support system, so that you will also get a focus for this.
Okay. Wow. It's life support. I don't want that complication.
All right, so you guys are down to 1 momentum. And
But it was difficulty 1. Do I not? Oh no, that costs 2.
Yep. Yeah. All right. So as you guys are walking through the mess area, you hear the life support systems kick in, and you see like the initial blast of the oxygen coming from the vents, and then you start feeling the place getting warmer on your suits. And in the mess area, it looks like whoever was here got up in the middle of a meal. You see foodstuffs sitting, like on tables, chairs knocked over as if someone got out of here in a hurry. And that's pretty much the same thing you guys are getting as you move throughout the space station. It's very lived in. There are obviously people here, and it looks like they just left in a hurry.
DeGrasse is going to turn and say, it looks like they evacuated. Very rapidly. Is the food decomposing at all? Just out of curiosity.
Well, it was in the vacuum of space, so no.
Ah, good call.
Commander, are the escape pods missing?
It's an excellent question.
All right, we'll get back to Marora, and then I'll answer it.
Okay.
Did you have something you wanted to ask, Counselor?
Yeah, how long would it take to check a couple of personal quarters to see if people took any personal belongings, like pictures and things like that?
Oh, everything looks there. Like, it doesn't look like anyone took anything. It really looks like they just left in a hurry.
Okay, so my postulation is if sometimes people when they evacuate they take some personal effects and pictures with them. So I was just seeing if there's like a roll to see if these people were either taken, like abducted, or these people like actually took some things with them and left in a hurry. Like that. I want to try to determine what that is.
Yeah, it's a good thought, and we'll get back to you guys. I'll let Marora make. All right. You said you wanted to.
Next, the anti-gravity.
All right, I'll include that with the structural integrity. So I'm gonna make this a probably a controller reason difficulty 3.
Control or reason with engineering.
Yep. Although your control's at a 12, so you probably want that one.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, but yeah, okay. I want that third dice. I'm gonna spend. I guess I'll spend our last momentum to get a third dice.
Nailed it.
That was scary.
Woo!
And as you guys are walking through the various parts of the station, all of a sudden gravity kicks on and you hear force fields turn on and cover the hull breaches, and everything drops to the floor. Almost all of a sudden, like.
I'm gonna go over the radio and be like, Commander, watch your head. Gravity's back on.
DeGrasse is gonna radio back. Thanks, Aurora. Thanks for the heads up. And continue looking around.
I'll deactivate my magnetic boots. It's almost like whatever hit the station surprised everyone, and then they were just taken or something.
Okay, so then can I get a roll to like determine the psychology of like maybe after looking at a few different personal quarters to see if anybody did take any personal affections or that none were in fact taken at all? I want to try to determine if maybe they're abducted or they did leave in a hurry and maybe took some affections with them.
Give me an insight medicine, and we'll make this a difficulty 2 test.
Cool. Let's see here. Investigation, psychology, anything like that help me?
We'll let you use investigation.
Okay. I'll burn a threat, take an extra die. And I'll roll that.
And you guys get a momentum.
Yeah, so my question would be basically to determine whether or not they were abducted.
Yeah.
Or okay, cool.
And Blackwell Doctor, what were you guys doing?
Blackwell will do a scan for radiations. First, any that might be harmful to us as a result of the antimatter explosion. And then second, for any unusual radiations or traces thereof, chronoton, metaphasic, anything just not what one would expect in a research art and an outpost.
Right. Give me reason medicine. We'll give you a difficulty 2 as well.
Okay, I'll take the momentum for cautious and a third die. Don't really think I have anything that fits focus-wise, so re-roll that one just to get a complication. There we go.
Yeah, you get the momentum back.
Commander, we're clear of any radiation hazards, and I'm not detecting anything anomalous.
Understood, Doctor. DeGrasse is going to go to the nearest panel and begin looking for any information that he can, see if there's any initial understanding of what happens, logs, that sort of thing. And DeGrasse will realize that the computers have yet to come online, even though the power's back on.
Is this a standard Federation model outpost? I mean,
Yes. Yeah, it's the standard model.
Commander, perhaps we should get the Monarch to transfer blueprints, station blueprints to our tricorders and maybe find our way to the bridge or sick bay.
Good idea, Doctor. I am cognizant of where we would find any black boxes of the sort. I'm not familiar with these stations myself.
So you guys are pretty familiar with the station type. You've pretty much been on it before.
Oh, okay.
On similar ones, so like the medical bay is like a supply closet. The bridge is engineering.
Okay. So would we know, I guess, the place to go to get at those black boxes?
Where Morora is. And we'll head to now. All right, what else would you like to do in the engineering section?
All right, first of all, do I need to have sensors activated to get the sensor logs?
No, you could probably pull them from a computer.
Then I guess my next task would have to be get primary systems back online.
Okay. So you estimate you could probably get partial computer systems back online. However, this is going to be a difficulty 4 task.
Holy crap. I'm assuming my focus of computers will count.
Yes. So you guys have options to how to increase your odds. So, if anyone has engineering skills, if anyone has ideas of how to increase your odds further, I will leave you at it.
I can attempt to assist on that. So are we in engineering with Morora right now? Are we?
You could be.
Okay. So DeGrasse going to turn to Morora and say, Lieutenant Commander, would you like a little bit of help?
Yes, please. This is going to be a very difficult task for one person, so an extra pair of hands would be very easy, very nice.
Well, wouldn't consider myself a very strong engineer, but I do know the theoretical parts of computer science, so hopefully that can help us out here.
And Mora will kind of slap him on the back, say, "That's half the battle right there," and he's going to kind of run off to do whatever he needs to do.
DeGrasse is going to look a little deflated and turn to the doctor and say, "Doctor, are you getting a little bit of a creepy feeling about this as well?"
It's certainly odd, Commander.
Yeah, no struggle, just a wholesale fleeing almost.
They seem like they might have been abducted. Jesus, they would have very little time to evacuate.
As if there was some sort of mass beam out, there'd be no real trace, no real, no lingering radiation or anything.
They were in the middle of their day. She says the people evacuating oftentimes take possessions, pictures, things with them. It doesn't seem to be as much the case.
Blackwell kind of nods his head towards the commissary area and says, "Looks like something surprised them. Maybe an alert or whatever hit the station. They jumped up, left everything where it was to go to general quarters. But until we can get the sensor logs or ships or station logs, there's no way to know for sure.
Did we get any information on the escape pods or anything like that?
Yeah, counselor. We've been working on getting all systems online and going to be doing some exploring both inside computer systems and outside afterwards. So we'll get right on that. Aurora?
All right, if you just go
Ready
over,
to try?
He'll point to a console, say, just go over there, and whatever it tells you to do, just do it.
DeGrasse is going to chuckle a little bit and go, well, lead the way. I know when I'm not an expert.
All right, so what am I rolling for this?
All right, so this is probably going to be control engineering as well. Like I said, it's a difficulty 4 task. You do currently have the 1 assist.
I definitely want to use the 1 momentum to at least get 1 more dice. I'm debating if I should spend the 2 threat to get a 4th dice to be safe.
You could also spend your determination too.
He
I
already
already
did.
used that.
Oh, you already did? My bad.
Yeah, he rolled 2 zeros in a complication, so he used it to reroll.
DeGrasse is going to turn to Aurora and say, Aurora, what kind of damage does there appear to be to the computer systems? Is it electrical overload? Is it simply physical, like damage to the infrastructure? What are we dealing with here?
Well, the system as a whole has taken some structural damage, which is why I'm not going to be able to get it all back online up front. But what it looks like I can get online, it looks like it may have just been a fuse blew per se, or some sort of power outage that caused it to fry up and stop.
If they were transported, perhaps it was that did it.
Depending on how
Yeah,
much
it's
strain is on the
unusual.
computer, it could be. I'm going to go ahead and
Are there
spend
any
the
quick
two-
repairs that
two
we can
threat.
make to increase our chances of success? When we bring it online, I really don't want to risk this as much as we have to.
Nope, he got every gated thing he needed to do before the computers go in.
All right.
All right, then I'm going to give you the 2 momentum to get the 4th dice, and that way we have 5 dice to roll. Whew.
Nice.
Very
That
nice.
makes up for all the zeros.
Let's hope you got those out of your system. Let's hope you got them out of all of our systems.
Right?
All right, now we just need DeGrasse's assist.
So for the
Just 1 die.
Okay. For the assist, can I use a focus on that?
Which one?
Computers.
Yep.
All right. Here goes. Nothing. Nope.
No
Why'd
whammies.
you use President's Command?
Oh, I have no idea what I just did. Sorry.
I mean, unless your control engineering is a 7 equals a 17, I don't think you.
Yeah, no. No, my control engineering is 14.
All right, cool. So you guys bank 1, and I'm going to send something to all. Since I figure you're all looking at the console with anticipation.
Sure.
And
And now the rest of the episode is the other people on the ship looking for us.
I'll let the nerds do it. I'll be standing away from it. Nerds.
Well, that's
DeGrasse
not good.
You're telling me, Doctor. DeGrasse is going to turn to Aurora and say, does this look right to you? Is there any chance that the computer systems could be displaying inaccurate information?
I can double check the sensors, but I don't think that's the mistake.
She comes over and looks at it.
I mean, I don't know what would cause us to fire on ourselves, but that's, I mean, the sense, unless someone had some sort of masking signal masker to make it look like it was Federation ships, then it is.
Still, Lieutenant Nadan said that the wreckage was Federation, and she said there were at least 3 ships there.
Matches up with.
But she didn't say what kind.
Is this, if this is some sort of strange scientific phenomenon, we probably should warn the ship.
I agree. Aurora, while I'm relaying the information to the captain, go through the logs and see if there were any detected transporter activities, anything unusual that might clue us into how all of the personnel got moved off the station.
I'll do that. And GM, just to make sure, did we all get the same information from you just then, or are we just assuming we did?
Yes, yeah. The way I pictured it is, all 4 of you were kind of looking at the computer console with anticipation, and then when it turned on, that's what was on the screen.
All right. I just wanted to make sure that we weren't assuming that, and we were actually talking about different things. All right. I will check for transporter locks.
Commander,
Thank you.
we might want to warn the Monarch to institute computer security protocols. As unlikely as it seems, the only thing I can think of that would cause 3 ships to do what we're seeing here would be some sort of takeover by a virus or some sort of inimical force that took control of the ships and used them to attack this station.
I agree. That's the first thing that occurred to me was a bombing scenario. But so DeGrasse shakes his head and taps his communicator and says, "Way team to Monarch."
Go ahead, Way team.
Captain, we're seeing some strange phenomena down here. Aurora got the systems all online, and according to the computers, it looks like there were 3 Federation ships that dropped out of warp in close proximity to the station, surrounded it, and their warp cores went critical. And that's the cause of the debris fields and the damage that we see to the station. That's concerning, but what's equally, if not more concerning to me, is that we see no traces of any personnel on board. It looks like they might have panicked, but we can't detect any fleeing or any warp signatures at this point that indicate that they might have gotten away from the station. So we'll continue our investigation, but the good doctor here made a recommendation. I agree with him that the Monarch should do what it can to protect its computer systems and make sure that there's nothing suspicious going on with the systems on the ship.
Noted, Commander. Why don't you try and go through the communication logs if there's any records of them. Meanwhile, I'll have Lieutenant Nadan figure out the identification of those 3 vessels if there's no record from the Outpost.
Nothing that we found so far, but we'll continue investigating.
They might want to keep a safe distance, Commander, until we know what this phenomenon is.
Commander, Captain, just so you're aware, I am not detecting any transporter activity. I am reading the escape pods have launching. It appears that they launched The start date they launched matches the date of the explosion.
So they did flee.
Aurora, do we know at all if those escape pods were damaged in the explosions? Or do you think that any made it out that we could potentially recover?
It's with the debris field outside, Captain. It's Commander. It's hard to determine.
Understood. Captain, Aurora has just let us know that it looks like the escape pods did jettison. He's unable to detect it, at least from the station, as to where those escape pods went to or what condition they're in. Maybe that's a task for Lieutenant Commander Nadan.
Yes, sir. I'll get started on scanning for them right away.
Or Lieutenant Nadan, sorry. Captain, we'll let you know as we know more. DeGrasse out.
So yeah, I'm gonna start a scan for those escape pods.
All right. Roll me. Reason science. Using sensors and science.
Pardon, could you repeat the last part? I didn't hear it clearly.
So your role will be reason science, assisted by the ship's sensors and science. This will be a base difficulty 2.
So difficulty 1.
Yep. And you're trying to detect the escape pods in the debris field? Is that what you're trying to do?
In and potentially outside the debris field. I'm not ruling out that they didn't manage to get clear of the explosion.
Gotcha.
So I don't detect any escape pods in the debris field, which tells me they probably did clear the explosions. However, there's too much background radiation and interference to determine what path they may have taken. So I would suggest that we initiate a search pattern after the search of the debris is completed to try and track them down. Alternatively, if we're going to spend a long time here with the debris field, we may wish to call in reinforcements and ask some of the rest of the fleet to engage in a search pattern.
Thank you, Lieutenants. Can you also ascertain the identification numbers of the 3 Federation vessels? From the wreckage of the debris field?
GM, would such a thing be possible? I'd assume it'd be like trying to find any transponder or automated distress beacon or something like that. Is anything like that feasible?
Yeah, let me find a roll for. Let's go Insight Con, difficulty 1.
All right,
and you could be assisted by Sensors Con.
Is that base 1?
Yep.
Advanced sensors kick that down since it's using ship sensors.
Yep.
So there's 1 success.
Yep. So you get a momentum out of that.
These are 3 of the missing Federation ships, unfortunately.
It's troubling soon. Before we conduct our search pattern, we'll wait for the return of the away team. In the meantime, Mr. Casey, keep our shields up and on our yellow alert status.
Yes, Captain.
Lacking any orders, I'm just going to start scanning the surrounding area, keeping an eye out, so to speak, for anything approaching. Maybe I'm being overcautious, but the mental spidey sense is tingling.
Very good. Anything anyone else would like to do? Whether on ship or the station?
On the station, DeGrasse is going to look through the computer systems per the captain's suggestion to see if there are any communication logs with the ships or anything of the sort.
Also, I'd like to start seeing if I can determine how to get the entire computer core back up.
Blackwell will make his way to the sick bay closet and see if he can't retrieve the base medical officer's logs, just in case there's anything in there that might be useful.
So it's not so much like they have a medical officer. It's more or less like they have medical supplies.
Oh, okay.
So there's no like chief medical logs or anything. Like this is only it's a small state. You know, it's a small station.
Okay.
Maybe 5 crew members. You know.
So how much of the system? Blackwell, see if he can't pull up the commanding officer's logs. Commander, I've managed to retrieve the crew complement. Looks like 5 crew members, senior officer and senior officer Lieutenant Boyle.
Sorry, Doc, what was that last part? Lieutenant Boyle, you said?
Boyle, B-O-Y-L-E.
Hmm.
Does the name ring a bell, Commander?
I don't believe so. Jan, Would I know this person?
Do you know this person?
That's my question. Yeah, have I heard about this person at all?
That is my response.
Yeah, no, I don't know if I recall anybody with that name. DeGrasse is going to trail off a little bit.
Commander,
I haven't
it
been
looks
able
like-
to find any of command logs, however.
Commander, it looks like the computers are as powered up as I'm going to be able to get them at this point. They're just too badly damaged. Any more, and we're going to probably have to get the Corps of Engineers in here to replace the whole core.
Understood, Lieutenant Commander. You've done excellent work so far. Not sure we need to begin reassembling the station. We might be getting as much as we can out of her. DeGrasse is going to tap his comm badge and say, "Wait, team to Monarch."
Go ahead, Monarch, or go ahead, Way Team.
Captain, unless any of my team disagrees, I think that we've probably reached the limit of our investigation here. In addition to what we communicated earlier, we weren't able to find any communication logs on the station to those 3 vessels, and weren't able to pull any, lead team logs, and everything, with the exception of the events that we're aware of, looks relatively in line. So we'll conclude our investigation here shortly, and we'll get back to the ship.
Very well, Commander. Download what data you can from the computer core, and stand by for beam out.
Understood, Captain.
All right, just give me the transporter roll.
She has technical expertise, so difficulty 2.
Yep.
So I'm just gonna spend a momentum. You got enough threat.
I do.
I mean, that's 2 spheres.
Just need ship. That'll be 2 momentum. And the away team finds themselves back on the transporter pad.
Lovely
Which
trip,
the doctor
Doctor.
promptly leaps off of. What was that?
I said you have a lovely trip, Doctor.
Yes, because I so enjoy having my molecules scattered across open space into a potentially hazardous environment, and some damn machine reassembling them.
My character lets out a little chuckle.
DeGrasse is going to look at Blackwell and say, "Doctor, for somebody who is so good with the latest medical technology, you were so squirrely around other types."
Over-reliance on machines is a mistake, Commander.
I think he's just trying to be funny. I have a good comic program so you could do stand-up comedy,
Just
Doctor.
be glad I still know how to take out your spleen with a spoon if necessary, Counselor.
I'm gonna walk
Head up.
over to the doctor before he heads out and say, "Relax, Doctor. It's one of the most safest things. Let me explain this to you." And I'm gonna then go on a long, descriptive detail of how transporters work and why they're. not
Mr.
gonna hurt
Marora,
you.
I have a sedative specifically designed for Cations, and if you don't stop talking to me this moment, I will use it on you. And then I head for the bridge.
DeGrasse is going to turn to the counselor and say, so about that spleen comments, are we just going to roll with that one, or do I need to write up a report?
No, probably not necessarily, but he probably could use some counseling. Maybe some exposure therapy.
DeGrasse is going to
I'll be
roll
much
his eyes
obliged
a
to give
little
him all the exposure therapy he requires, counselor.
bit. DeGrasse is going to roll his eyes a little bit, hop off the transporter pad, and just casually say, well, I don't doubt he could probably do it very quickly. And bound off to the bridge.
Back on the bridge.
I'm gonna use this turbo lift. And when Blackwell gets there, I will pull up the Starfleet records of the 5 crew people and start looking over them, see if there's anything interesting or unusual therein.
No, just the basic stuff, where they served, when they graduated, when they joined. Nothing sinister or anything bad that stands out. They're, a few of them are decorated, but most of them are there just to either run the station or to run the sensors on the station. It's like
Right.
it's a border outpost.
Right.
How many people are on that outpost, just out of curiosity?
5.
Highest ranking officer was lieutenant.
DeGrasse is going to turn to the captain and say, Captain, I've been struggling to even think about any scenario under which anybody would want to take out a station with 5 crew members with 3 Federation vessels. Seems like a pretty weighty attack against a small target.
The outpost is a listening post along the border. Currently, there's a sensor gap, so it'd be hard to detect for a while in this region of space incoming vessels. Gap we'll most likely have to fulfill for a while. Ensign
Understand that.
Orja, begin a routine search pattern. Let's see if we can't find that missing escape pod.
Escape pods are programmed to head for the nearest habitable planet. Perhaps that might narrow our search, Captain.
Believe Lieutenant Nadon was already inputting potential locations where the escape pod could have went.
All right. Well, I have a roll for that. So this will be a difficulty 3, reason science, or con. Using sensors con. So I guess this will be a difficulty 2.
Okay, I'll go with the reason science. Does my focus in exotectonics apply at all?
No.
Okay.
Can
what
she
about...
be assisted?
I will allow it.
Cool.
She has testing a theory and theory into practice.
Oh.
I do.
And you've already done this role before then, so I think they both kick in, right?
So what do those do?
So testing a theory lets me roll an additional d20 as long as I succeeded at a previous task covering the same scientific or technological field earlier in the same adventure. And then theory into practice. reduces the difficulty of the task by 1 if I'm using testing a theory. To a minimum of 0, obviously, but...
Difficulty 1 task, please.
Okay.
With your extra...
With my what? Sorry?
Testing a theory gave an extra dice, right?
Yeah.
So yes.
You don't need an assist.
Okay.
Oh god. There's the complication on the ship.
We have the momentum.
Alright, so you gain 1 momentum.
And go down.
So you could either let the complication go or buy it
Bye-bye.
off, which it looks like you bought it off.
I will buy it off.
See, Prax. Speeches at the beginning of the founding of a ship are important.
There's an M-class moon, about half a light year away. The pods should be able to make it there within the amount of life support that they have. It should be within their range, I would think, of assuming they're functioning. I'll send over the coordinates to flight control, and I do that.
Is there any information on this moon, Lieutenant?
One moment. I'll see what I can pull up.
There is not.
No, there is not. It is M class. That's all I can detect from here.
Understood.
I could give you circling a gas giant, but that's probably about it.
Yeah. So, yeah, then I'll point out it's also circling a gas giant, which makes sense if it's large enough to be M class.
Ensign, landing course, maximum warp.
Aye, Captain. Before that, though...
Oh. Sir, there was a large antimatter explosion about 2 light years away. I send the coordinates over. Just now. Whatever destroyed these ships is still ongoing, I would assume. It's the opposite heading from the M-class planet, however.
What is the location? What is there?
Does my navigation focus? Okay, it's open space, sir.
What's the nearest outpost to this location?
To where the explosion happened?
Yes.
I'll see what I can pull up. And I'll search the computer for it. We're the closest vessel. The next nearest outpost or vessel is in the range of 20 to 25 light years away, depending on... I would assume depending on their patrol.
Counselor, look at the captain. You think that whatever it is might be heading for another base? Or ship?
Be awfully weird for a vessel to suddenly self-destruct in open space, Counselor?
She nods her head.
GM, if I plot a line from this location to where that antimatter explosion just happened, and then extrapolate it, does that intersect with anything really important?
No.
Okay, good.
Lieutenant, the people in the escape pod, is it reasonable if they reach the Class M moon in the time allowed that they'll be fine for the time being? Well, that they should have been able to make it in that reasonable time, assuming everything went well?
Well, it would be within the typical range of those escape pods, and Class M planets are habitable. However, I think the doctor may have some worthwhile expertise here. If there's injuries or something.
I'll give you a roll for the planet at a difficulty 5.
Yeah.
Okay, I think your talent's still come into play because it should be the same kind of roll.
Yeah, I think so.
And I can.
I get 3 dice and decrease the difficulty by 1.
But then the sensors will decrease it by another 1.
Okay,
so it'll be difficulty 3 at the end of the day.
And
yeah.
I will assist this time if possible.
I will do.
You can buy a 4th dice for 2 momentum.
I'll do reason science. Do we want a extra die for extra security? It would take up half our momentum.
I'd be more than happy to assist on this.
Okay.
To throw in an extra die.
I'll allow 1 assist.
Yeah, I think your science is higher than mine, so you go ahead.
Okay, I'll do that. It's been rolled.
And this is a sensor operation?
Yes.
Fundamentally. Okay.
Oh, that's unfortunate.
We need 1 more.
Yeah.
Well, here goes nothing.
There you go.
Woo!
Had to adjust something in it.
Okay. It's going to be difficult for them to survive for an extended period of time. There's not much water or anything to eat really there. Also, that's prone to hazardous weather. So in theory, it's habitable. In practice, unless they've got a survival expert with them, they're going to have a hard time surviving much beyond a day or 2.
I agree, Captain. Looks like there's very little water there.
You send a shuttle. She looks over at DeGrosse and then to the captain. If you plan on pursuing the other route.
Yes, Captain. It's the distances between the two are fairly minimal. If you can give me a pilot, I'd be happy to head to the planet and see, or the moon rather, and see what the condition of the survivors, if any, are, then we could start making our way back for you and back towards the Monarch and meet in the middle, perhaps.
And I would be happy to assist the doctor if he needs help as well.
Fortune Doctor, I'm going to need your expertise here on the ship. Judging what happened, if that was a survivors where that antimatter explosion is at, they will need a skilled surgeon.
Captain, I can go.
Very well. Yourself, a security officer, and 1 medical personnel be cleared.
I'd like to send Dr. McKenzie then, Captain.
Very well, Doctor.
Do we have a pilot as well with those 3?
We would have to
not with
make
McKenzie.
All right. Yeah, because I'm not gonna be able to fly it.
I mean, the security officer has a con score of 2.
Okay.
Kota, she could fly.
Should be good enough.
13.
Hopefully-
13.
Hopefully, we don't run into any adverse weather as we're landing.
Remember, the planet is prone to.
Yeah. It's either that we have to make a con officer, supporting character, or use a really good one, which I guess we could do. Borgia could probably, I guess, go. Well, in that case, Class 5 Ion Storm, I mean, just might as well just take our only con officer.
Well, while we're doing that, I can take a few more officers. But...
well, it depends on the shuttle, so yeah, look at the shuttle take.
Dai will linger her eyes over towards the captain.
What's your con, Dai? Can you fly?
I know how a shuttle flies. She says, I've flown a shuttle before. She smiles at her.
As I look at the sheet. Nope.
Back at the academy.
Basic piloting lessons.
But I can't assist just as with medical issues. She says, I mean, I did go to medical school.
It's true.
Quite a long time. She looks over at the captain again.
Oh yeah, I mean, if you want to go, yeah, definitely. You have a better medical score than McKenzie, I think. All right.
Does he say that? No, no. I'm just
No, I'm sorry. I just assumed that Dai would want to stay with the captain.
No, I know. No, she actually made the suggestion that she could join you, and then the captain was like, "No, I need you here." And then he made this. Then the XO was like, "Well, then I'll go." And she's like, "Yeah, you go with the away team." And then she didn't say anything about Dai joining them, so it was cool. I was like, "Okay, I guess she doesn't want me going."
I mean, I'm letting DeGrasse pick who's going. The doctor's off limits.
Oh, I thought you said a group of 3. Okay.
So.
So DeGrasse is going to turn to the doc and say, Doc, I will follow your recommendation, but I understand that we have a pretty good medical practitioner here on the bridge. Would you mind if she went?
Counselor Dai is eminently qualified to undertake any medical mission that might be required. Counselor, please grab whatever you need from sickbay.
Sure. She says, I'm not a surgeon, she says, but I can perform My medical duties, of course.
So there's
DeGrasse is gonna turn and wink at Die, just kind of on the down low.
She'll wink back at him.
we only have like the biggest one we have is the Type 8, which has no weapons. Can hold 6 people. Plus
And you have a type.
total of
type
8.
8?
Yeah, we have a Type 8.
Don't you have the big beefy boy?
Type
That's
11?
And that could.
The Monarch.
could-
I thought.
The problem is
You
that
got,
there's
like,
no
a Daniel?
stats for the Type 11. I have no idea what it's.
Wasn't there one that could fit 12?
Yeah, don't we have like a Danu or something? We gotta have like a Danu.
No,
I mean,
because we don't have.
No, you don't have the. You have to have extended shuttleways for that.
the biggest ship in the fleet.
For some reason, I have it in my mind that a Type 7 can fit 12. I don't know why.
It can. We don't have one.
Really?
Yep. 3 Type 9s, Type 11, and a Type 8.
Did you say a Type 8?
Yeah. But it has phaser banks, so there is an escalation cost. Which is
Yeah, it
why
doesn't-
I am very leery of.
I'll only take the escalation costs when you actually power on the phasers.
Yeah, but that's a
Or
meta,
power on the
though.
weapon systems.
I mean, we would use it for a mission anyway, so it's like, who cares about that aspect of it? That's what we'd use.
We've really never used shuttles before, unless the GM is letting us take one of the Type 9s and switch it out for a Type 7.
Yeah, that's because I assumed like going in you had like one of each.
Yeah, then we'll just switch one over. I just gotta switch the stats real quick.
And I'm working on a supporting character.
Which, oh dear God, please not let this one get into combat.
Astronavigation, small craft, and what? For a shuttle pilot.
Although Type 7s are probably the shuttle I have blown up the most.
They're also the ones that
funny.
get used the most.
Yeah, they are.
Because there was a certain captain that didn't like to send out anything else but a Type 7.
But this one you almost need it because you gotta at least fit 5, and then whoever you're taking.
It's also like I like expanded shuttle base, so you get the lovely runabout.
Back in Academy days, we used to shove 12, 14, 15 people in one of those things. We'll make it work.
In the 2-man
Go to
shuttle.
the moon for a packy for some beer.
Everybody can sit on everybody's lap. It's cool.
It'll be called Get to Know Your Crew.
It's not like we're gonna run into anything. We're in the middle of space.
Space.
Says every drunk teenager.
Yeah, unfortunately, you were in Earth.
Pigs in space.
Okay, where are?
Ooh, shields are 3. Power of 4. Alright, the sheet is done. Ish.
Okay.
Shuttle just needs to be named.
Oh, I was working on one. Oh well. You're just too fast for me.
Sorry.
No, I was going to give us an Aurelian.
No, I mean the sheet's done for the shuttle.
Oh, okay. I thought you were talking about for the.
No, I didn't do anything for the sporting character.
Okay.
Thought you guys had a con officer.
We do. You can take our con officer.
He's at con. You need a second one. Gotcha.
Yeah.
That
Let's do
makes
it.
more sense.
Let's just pull somebody from beta shift. Let's grab a Talarite, so we have a good conversation on the way there.
Ooh.
Who wants to play a Talarite? Let's do it.
I've actually got us an Aurelian shuttle pilot.
Ooh, an Aurelian. Those guys make for good pilots, right?
They got wings, don't they?
They know how to fly. That's racist.
Speciesist.
Counselor always says all these paints people with broad brushes. God.
Okay, where do we have a supporting character sheet floating around somewhere?
Can we bring EV suits with us?
I think there's one called Open 3 that I think is ready to go.
Ah, I see it.
I'll have to create a few more opens here, probably before next week. All right, so I just need to know who's away team and who is staying.
So DeGrasse, Die, and whoever the pilot is. And then we'll also take a security officer with us. Who was that?
Here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Oh, he's an engineer.
Looks like you have Kota and I can't even pronounce the Andorian.
Yeah, we can take. Let's take Kota.
All right. All right, then you guys will be whisked away to your shuttle, and you will leave the Monarch and start heading toward your planet. And the Monarch, I assume, is going to head off toward the explosion.
Correct. No, the
Okay,
Monarch's going
we
to the planet. The shuttle's going to the explosion. We're gonna do this backwards.
I mean, if you want, it does not matter to me.
No, the Monarch's going to the.
You
the
are
explosion.
the captain.
Yes, the Monarch's going to the explosion.
All right, we'll go ahead and change scenes. So you guys will drop a momentum if you haven't done that already. And we'll stay with the Monarch for now. All right, so the Monarch will drop out of warp. Let me play the sound effect. And you will come upon another debris field. Based on the size of the debris field from the other one, you estimate, looking at the view screen, that this is the wreckage of 2 separate Federation vessels.
Lieutenant Nanan, can you perform a sensor sweep? See if there's any survivors.
Yes, and I'll do that.
Okay, so this one is going to be reason with either medicine or science, assisted by the sensor's medicine difficulty 5. And there is a success at cost for this.
You said sensors medicine,
Yes.
so difficulty 4.
Yes.
Okay. Reason. I'll use reason science. Because that's much better for me.
Can there be an assist?
I will give one. Because this seems like your department looking for the life signs.
Yeah. I don't think my talents apply in this case because I'm scanning for life signs, not
Correct.
scanning for planets.
We have 3 momentum.
Yeah, can I buy an extra die?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I will do that. So that I have 3 dice.
Oh, God, shit, why?
Told you, man. It's that speech, man. Sticking with us,
Who's-
Prax. I'm telling you.
Whose fault is that?
And then just doctor's assist.
Yeah.
Oof.
Oof.
We got it though, I think.
No, it's difficulty 4.
No, we're 1 short.
However, this is a success at cost. And then you have a complication.
I say buy off the complications so we don't have 2 complications.
Sure.
Bye
Okay.
bye momentum.
I'm not detecting any survivors, sir, but there's only enough remains to account for one of the ships. I'm not sure where the other half of the crew went.
Broaden your search, see if there's any other vessels nearby.
Yes, sir. I'll do that.
But definitely 2 ships exploded. Right?
The only other ship in the area that I'm detecting, sir, is our shuttle. And yes, 2 ships definitely exploded. Can I detect any M class or other somewhat habitable planets in the area within escape pod range? Okay. So if there are if this crew was able to make it to the escape pods, they would be headed to the same planet that our or the same moon rather that our shuttle's headed to. It's still the closest habitable system.
But much further away. See if you can't find any transponders needed to see what ships were involved.
I'll give you a difficulty 3 insight. Go insight science.
Okay. Does the fact that I succeeded at a similar? Oh no, it's still a science test. So does the fact that I succeeded at a similar test earlier allow me to invoke testing a theory and theory into practice?
Does that for the whole episode or just for the scene?
For the adventure.
Really? That's really good then. Yes, I will give you reduced difficulty and your.
Sweet.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's because it's 2 different talents coming into play. Okay, so task roll. Um, So one of the vessels was on the missing ship list. The other one was the cargo freighter. Was a cargo freighter from Talarian space. Probably on a supply run, I'm guessing.
Which of the vessels is the... So there was no life signs detected out of game?
No.
But genetic remains of the crew or whatever, biological remains.
Yeah, you still found biological remains, like dead bodies floating in space and stuff like that. But given the estimated sizes of the ships, the remains only account for one of the ship's crews.
Were they Talarian or human? Or mixed, whatever. The remains that exist.
Yeah, I'm chasing that down right
Oh,
now,
okay.
Captain. Okay, so the bodies are mainly Tellarite, so I'd assume they're from the
No, those are
from the
federated. Do we know what cargo vessel? Or if we're able to get that information?
I was, and its crew is mainly Tellarite, apparently. So
With the vessel
I'm
name?
assuming. Pardon?
It's a Tellarite vessel named Vessel. It did have a flight plan that you were able to pull up.
Okay, I'll transfer that over. To the to your station.
So I did the math, 2 light years, so took the Monarch just under 7 hours. like 6.5 to get here.
That seems like a long time.
2 light years.
I guess so.
That's a warp 9.985. Oh, wait, that's 9.85.
Space is big.
Sorry, 2.7 hours.
I was about to say, yeah.
Yeah, gotta put that extra 9 in.
2.7 hours.
Yeah. So just under 3. So 2 hours 45 minutes, roughly.
All right, so I'll let you guys think about that for a minute, and we'll go to the away. All right, so the away. Let me switch over here. Where is it? Oh, there. All right, so the away team, you do arrive at the planet, and like I said, it's a, or like I gave you guys, it is a arid and rocky planet. You know, it's gray and, or not gray, it's brown in tone. You know, from space, you could see very little water on the planet, very little vegetation. There seems to be numerous mountain ranges that you could see from space.
Were we able to detect any signs of the crew from space
Roll
or
me.
anything else?
Roll me reason plus science or security, difficulty 2, assisted by the sensors and science or security.
I'd be happy to
Okay.
make that roll if you guys want.
Let's do it. And I'm assuming my focus and sensor operations would apply here.
Sure does.
Cool. Ooh, come through.
Hold your breath for the shuttle.
Oh, great.
Oh well, a 6.
Shouldn't have been economical with that. Oh well.
Okay, you are able to detect the pods. They seem to have touched down in a large open plain, sort of near the equator of the planet.
Can I scan for life forms to see if there's any indigenous life, like, you know, xenomorphs that are willing to kill us?
Most of the life forms are small, like small mammals, insects that mostly are hang out near the vegetation and what little water there is, and mostly underground. So there's nothing big.
Cool, cool.
Did we detect any of those storms that are nearby or potentially on a path to, go to the area of the escape pod?
That will be your punishment for succeeding at cost.
Damn it. Okay.
Do you really have 16 threat?
I do.
Give us a roll, give us some momentum.
Web key, we're gonna die.
You know,
Alrighty.
we had good reasons for some scans. How about we do a flyby, a daring flyby? See what it looks like first.
Well, let's do it. I'll order the pilot to do a quick flyby of the pod and make sure everything looks kosher before we decide to land.
Okay, so this will be a con roll.
Mm-hmm.
I'll base difficulty 1 this. However, I have all this threat.
Jesus.
Let him spend it.
All right.
You got
Oh, dear.
this.
He just spent half of it.
Oh god.
It's where the Avenger's meant to go. It's meant to go there.
As you start your approach for the flyby, a dust storm kicks up right in your flight path. I'm going to increase the difficulty of this test to 4 with a complication range of 2.
All right, I'm assuming atmospheric flight will come in handy as a focus.
Sure would.
I think I'm going to have to give him some threat back, guys. So I'm going to give you 3 threat for 4 dice.
Yeah, there we go. Let's do this. You got this.
Right, my focus clicked. Somebody got the shuttle. For what it's worth. Oh, there it is. It's already rolled.
Well, not the shuttle.
What? Nothing. What? What?
Still, doesn't matter.
Yeah, I don't have a way to re-roll that because he's brand new.
Since you gave me the con pilot tries valiantly to stabilize the flight path during the sandstorm. However, the storm picks up intensity and you are forced to land on the planet. Please roll me a daring con difficulty 2 task.
Okay.
I am going to make the complication range, however, 3.
Okay, I'll give you a threat for a 3rd die. Complication range to 3.
Yes.
Okay. Difficulty was just 2, though, right?
Yep.
Unfortunately, there's the shuttle.
The shuttle is my best friend today. All right.
That's why you don't take
The good news is he was able to land the shuttle without any damage. The bad news is you are a kilometer away from the pods.
Sorry, Commander, the storm was just too much. Shuttle couldn't take it.
DeGrasse is going to look at the ensign, I'm assuming. Yeah. Say, could do with a little more training in the flight sim, huh? Well,
the commander is welcome to pilot the shuttle on the way back.
Well, if I was piloting,
I kind of snapped my beak.
Well, if I was piloting, we certainly wouldn't have survived that. So
we're very, very grateful. She goes over and she puts her hand on her shoulder. That turned out the way it did. Right, Commander? She looks over.
DeGrasse thinks Dai is laying it on a little thick and just goes, sure, and turns. And is the storm currently raging outside the shuttle?
The storm is dying down, and from your estimates, about to end in about 10 or so minutes.
Okay. And we know the moon has a breathable atmosphere. Doesn't appear to be anything weird on sensors.
Nope, just your typical oxygen, nitrogen atmosphere.
Okay.
Okay. Does the storm seem that bad, like if we get caught in it, we'll all die in it? Or is it just like it would be very bad and uncomfortable?
Depends on the severity of the storm at the time.
Can I make a medical roll to determine whether or not any of our sensor data could give us information on that?
So the storms vary in intensity to just being mildly uncomfortable to being you don't want to be out in this to it could blow you away. Depending on like the planet's rotation around the moon. At the moment, the way the planet and the moon is oriented, you're just going to get the light sandstorms.
Do we have Evo suits on the?
No.
Okay. I should have insisted taking them. I was thinking about it. I should insist on taking them. I mentioned it, but it's cool. I
Yeah.
didn't say take them.
Counselor, do you think we can go on foot?
Sure, let's do it. She says. She gets that can attitude. She gets up as if she's in one of her holodeck wilderness programs. Does this shuttle have like any type of replicator on it or no?
I don't think this one does.
Okay,
but it
cool.
does have, but it is packed with a lot of, emergency rations and emergency water and all that fun stuff.
Okay. So we don't have like, like the kind of gear like Cisco had when they go in the desert and stuff. Yeah, like wilderness gear or anything.
Let me double check this because I think the bigger one gives some type of advantage. I just cannot remember what it was.
It's well supplied. So any character attempting to search the shuttle for parts or supplies by attempting insight engineering with difficulty 2, the game master determines what these supplies do. Even in like TNG, they showed several shuttles having onboard replicators. At least the shuttle pads.
Well, I figure maybe we can replicate something, or we could take advantage of that engineering role.
Yeah, that's probably what I would use. Is probably do the engineering role, and then the computer would be programmed with what you need. Is how I'll work it.
Can I do that?
Whoever thinks they can make it. You said it was a difficulty 2 or 1. What was that roll, Prax?
Difficulty 2.
Okay.
It's essentially an advantage.
Okay. Sweet. Yeah. Okay. Then I'll go after that. I'll go rummaging through the stuff and we get come up with some engineering and some insight to add to the commander's plan of going over to that ship. I will. Yeah, I'll burn a threat too. You got this. And
can I assist with this?
No.
Okay.
You said you gave me a threat, right?
Yep. I gave you 1 threat.
Cool. You get a momentum out of it.
And then we gain the advantage of whatever. I don't know, right?
So the computer is programmed with desert survival gear. So you're able to pull whatever you guys need. You could get extra water, extra food rations, whatever you need to pull out of the replicator for desert.
I just want some sort of advantage towards, like if we get caught in a storm, maybe it brings a complication down or something.
Yeah, somehow. You could get like those head scarves, those face scarves, goggles, for the, stuff like that.
Star Trek steampunk, sweet. Let's do it.
How bad is the storm currently?
It's dying down. It's basically as you guys are getting everything, the storm's like at its end.
Okay.
I won't even ask the commander. I'll just do that and kind of start handing him stuff.
Commander, if you want, I can fly ahead to the life signs. I can cover more ground faster that way.
I thought we weren't able to fly, right? It was just we got stuck, right?
Yeah, but I can literally fly. I have wings.
Oh,
you mean like fly? So.
Yeah, I'm an Aurelian, and it's part of just your racial trait. Yeah.
Interesting. DeGrasse is going to go. Yeah, that sounds great. Please do check out the life signs and report back as quickly as you can.
I'll give her gear too. Make sure she's geared up.
And when I step outside, I'll shake out my wings and take to the skies and head for the pods.
Dai will look over at DeGrasse, the commander, and notice that he's probably jealous because I noticed he floated in 0G for a moment there before he locked his boots earlier. So I know he's a man who likes to fly.
You caught me. DeGrasse is going to betray a little bit of jealousy, a little bit of wistfulness.
All right.
Amazing.
No,
Oh,
go
sorry,
ahead. You
go
guys
ahead.
were role playing. Sorry.
She
No,
says
you
it's
guys were
kind
role
of
playing. Go ahead.
kind of amazing, isn't it? She says, a little smiling at him.
Yeah, I've never been a good pilot. I've never been too good at doing anything like that, to be honest. But a little part of me is always a little excited.
It's not uncommon for command staff to secretly want to fly, she says, especially when they were younger. Matter of fact, most of them end up becoming pilots, she says, or even more captains. She smiles at him.
DeGrasse turns to the counselor and says, "Well, that's that psychological insight again. You have me to a T." Turns and bounds out the shuttle.
So we got a hike over there. Is it treacherous? Say it's treacherous, Ed. Is it treacherous terrain?
No. Like it's pretty flat. You know, it's dusty.
It's dusty. Okay, so no rolls necessary.
But I was gonna say that since he has the wings, he could probably get there pretty quick.
Nice.
And so you guys probably could just chill at the shuttle until you hear from him. And we'll speed up time a little bit for when he gets to him.
All right.
Okay.
After I take my first look around, I will hit my comm badge and contact the commander. Commander, there's no life signs here. However, it looks like the survivors took supplies, and I can see footsteps leading to the mountain range to the west.
How far is the mountain range from the shuttle?
Five kilometers.
It's all 2 days.
Well, not at 5 kilometers. Is there any way you think you can fly there and give us some intel on how difficult of terrain you think it would be? If there's any passes, anything that would make it a little easier for us to get back in there and search?
Sure, Commander. Shouldn't be a problem. This place is kind of like Aurelia. I'll take it back to the skies and try and follow the tracks, keeping an eye of the terrain.
Look at the commander. She says, "You don't want to make the hike? It's only 5 kilometers."
All right.
Going to Bright Falls.
Doctor, roll me Insight Con. Let's make this a difficulty 3 task.
Ooh. I have so much threat. What am I doing with this roll? Just judging the terrain, or?
Yeah, judging the terrain, seeing how feasible it is to hike across.
Okay.
If they can make it in a reasonable time, how difficult, blah, 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 blah.
Okay, I'm going to use that momentum for a third die. See what I can do. Ooh, sure enough.
Perfect. So the sandstorm pretty much covered up any trail that you could follow to get to them. You just know the general direction they were heading. You're still not getting any life signs on your scanners, on your tricorder, even as you get closer.
Okay, well, I will kind of land in the mountain, activate my comm badge. This is this is Ensign Kennel Nee of the starship Monarch, contacting any survivors from Outpost, whatever the hell, Outpost 519. Do you read me?
Doctor, roll me a fitness security. Wait, no, I lied. Fitness
what?
Fitness medicine. Difficulty 1. All right, and then Then I need you to roll me. This is probably going to be a Reason Con difficulty 5.
Wow, there's no way in hell. Yeah, gang, without giving him like all the threat, I don't think there's any way I can make this roll.
Yeah, I wouldn't worry about it.
Yeah, I'm just gonna have to make it. At least no whammies.
All right. You're not sure where they could have ended up at the moment.
No response to my hail.
No.
I'll contact back to. I'll report into Commander DeGrasse. Sir, it looks like the sandstorm has wiped out the trail. I've tried hailing them, but I get no response. I can't really tell which way they've gone once they got to the mountains. What was the terrain like, GM? I made that one.
Up to the mountains, it was mostly, flat, a little gentle rolling hills, maybe a few larger hills in spots.
Right.
Nothing too treacherous. The big thing is the heat.
Right.
It is midday at the equator.
Beyond the heat, however, Commander, the hike shouldn't be too bad.
Understood, Ensign. We'll be on our way to meet you. If you want to fly back and join us, meet us halfway, you're more than welcome to. If you'd like to take a breather and wait, feel free to do that as well.
Aye, Commander. I will see if I can't find some sort of shade and wrap the desert gear around me and just kind of wait on him for a bit.
Okay.
Maybe now that we're on the surface, maybe we could run other scans, or maybe we'll have to figure it out with tricorders once we get there.
But before I hunker down, I will like fly up and get some altitude and try and send out the comm signal again. See if I can't get in touch with them.
Still no luck.
Okay. And I'll hunker down.
Okay. So what I need for the rest of the away team to do, I need you guys to roll me a fitness medicine check, difficulty 1.
Okay.
That is for everyone except the Aurelian.
I have a focus in survival. Does that apply?
Yep, that works.
Awesome. Oh, great.
What about my my body and mind? Must be healthy. My fitness junkie shit.
If you have a fitness, then yeah. But with right now with that first roll, you have 2 momentum. And then yeah, if you have anything related to a fitness or like endurance, then yes.
Cool. That's what I do. That's for my yoga and all that.
Yep.
Yeah, I'll spend a momentum. You said fitness and medicine, you said?
Yep.
Cool, thanks. Boom. Let's get some momentum.
Jeez.
That'll be 4. See, DeGrasse, you should have waited.
Always let me go first. You know that. Remember, you almost fell off that cliff. Back on
that is
what was
true.
that planet?
All right, DeGrasse, you are starting to feel dehydrated. The rest of your rolls gets a +1 complication range.
Can I spend 2 momentum to wipe out that complication by giving him some of my water?
Yes, I will allow.
I'll ask him how old he is. I've never asked you how old you are.
McGrath's going to look at the counselor and say, I'm not sure why that's relevant.
You seem very young at heart. I just think it's relevant to our friendship.
Not quite as young as yourself. I've been doing this for a while. Starfleet, at least. Not hiking in blistering conditions.
Come on, she says, you can step where I step, and if you get tired, just tell me. There's no just tell me. She says, if you get tired.
Understood, counselor. And 44.
What was the line? She says, silent boys don't get the toys, she says.
Never heard that one. Must be an Earth saying.
All right, and then after a few hours of trekking, you eventually do come to the base of the mountains and meet your Aurelian. Probably under a little rock overcrop for shade.
Damn, he looks cool.
Oh, nice. Ensign?
Yeah, I'm really pleased to have found that.
Check him out. He's dope.
Commander, how was the hike?
Exhausting.
Ah,
I'm continuously jealous of your wings.
ha. Well, don't be too jealous. I get overheated as quickly as anyone. Here, I suggest the three of you rest under the shade. I tried gaining some altitude and attempting to contact the survivors again. Still no reply.
Are there any
So
sorts
GM?
of caves or anything?
All right, so what I need next is a difficulty 5 task, but everyone gets to assist with it, and it will be in. What did I make you roll?
Insight.
Look
or
up. It was a reason con.
Yeah, I'll let you guys use either your reason or insight and con. One person will be the main. Everyone else gets to assist. Still difficulty 5.
And that's to look for them.
That's you start trying to figure out what path they might have taken through these mountains.
Insight con, I'm rolling 13.
I got 13 with an investigation focus.
I don't think I
12
have a
here.
focus that applies.
Maybe.
Yeah, I have 12, so I'm supporting.
Yeah, I think you're going to lead. You'd be the best to lead, Dai.
Cool. Let's do it. What do you got here? Okay, so it's insight con, you said?
Yep.
You got 3 dice. That's 13. That means all 3 momentum. And big bucks, no whammies. I didn't even think these made determination. Dumb. Dumb of me.
Go on, DeGrasse.
GM, I'm going to suddenly remember that in one of my past lives,
Nice.
I had desert tracking.
You're using con before you start using con, right?
Yes.
So there's no point in you getting a focus.
Yeah, if you're rolling a 1, it doesn't matter what focus.
Gotcha. All right. Figured I was.
Before you waste the talent.
I didn't even think of using one of my values. That was dumb on me. I failed us, guys.
Well, you can always use spend a determination to re-roll. I mean, you can do that after you roll.
Can you?
Yeah.
Can I do that? Like Fast Ship, Strange New Worlds?
Yeah, let the grass make his roll because you might make it, and then you don't need it.
You got this, dude.
Yeah, we'll see.
Now you could reuse reason, of course. That happened.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm thinking you probably need to roll those dice again.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just re-roll the whole entire roll, right?
Just you could choose. So you could just choose to reroll the zeros. But it still has to be matched with the focus or the mission directive, which would apply in this case.
Oh, so you're asking me to pick a value? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, you still need to match it with a value or the mission directive, just like if you were to use the.
Okay. Can it be Fast Ship, Strange New Worlds? I mean, she was excited to get off the ship, and I did express that in the role playing. She's like, "Yeah, let's do a flyby."
Maybe not on my shift might apply better in this case.
Okay, cool. Not on my shift, or even they're our family. We gotta find them. Not on my shift. Okay, cool. I'll just re-roll this then. I'm gonna re-roll. I think I'm gonna re-roll all of them.
You want to re-roll 2. Re-roll 2.
Because you already have 2 successes. Like,
oh, okay. So we keep success. Those successes, and we keep everybody else's successes.
Right. Yes. Yes.
Ah, that's right. Okay, didn't think about that. Sorry. So 2 dice.
And you guys bank a momentum.
I think they went that way.
That's exactly how this works. However, DeGrasse, with your complication, you are now dehydrated. The water did not help. So you get a +1 complication to all your remaining rolls.
Get that Aurelian to mama bird feed this guy to keep him in shape.
You're the doctor. Give him a saline injection.
Can I make a medical roll? Is he looking? I mean, okay. Well, I'll let him say something. If he doesn't say anything, then tell them I mentioned.
Oh, DeGrasse is going to say something with his chapped lips and pallid demeanor, glassy eyes. He's going to turn to the counselor. Going to turn to the counselor and go, I'm not feeling too. And at that point, he's going to stumble and collapse on his knees.
Okay, she'll run up to his side, put her hand on his face as an excuse to touch him, not to actually check if he's all right. And she will run a scan to see what's going on there with him. He obviously looks dehydrated, but you know.
I'll give you a difficulty 0 medical check.
Sweet. Medical and what is it?
Reason.
Usually control, aren't we? Or intuition.
Do that.
Insight, whatever the hell it is.
I don't have a focus, but we'll just do this.
You guys will get a momentum, and you know, you could tell physically, but your tricorder confirms he is dehydrated.
I look to the Birdman and I say, "Do you have any water left?"
Yes.
Okay, good. She says, and then she's gonna. There's got to be something medical I can do to I mean, give him a hydro spray or something. I mean, I guess I don't know. I didn't say I brought a med kit with me, but I'd imagine that I did since I'm kind of pseudo doctor on this mission.
I mean, the only way to really get rid of this is to give me the 2 momentum again.
Yeah. Okay. So Berna, I'll be happy to do that. That's cool. You're giving us rolls. I'm all good with it. It's a good economy. It's up and down, Ed.
All right, DeGrasse, the water has helped you, and you feel like you can continue on. You're still a bit sluggish, obviously, because, you know, heat.
Sure. Thank you. I try not to get heat stroke while we're out here.
Very
kind of look sheepishly.
Motherly help feed him the water.
It might be best if we waited until later in the day to continue. Once the main heat is passed.
I agree.
Probably a good idea.
That's what we'll do.
Can we find a location that's like covered?
Well, the Aurelian found a nice little overhang that's a little bit cooler. You know, like a little rock outcropping, you know, with some shade.
Go nestle in that area then. Nestle up and wait for the night, I guess. Too bad the sun doesn't rotate. It just it's a fixed position and it's just daytime all the time.
Till we go around the other side of the gas giant.
I know, right?
Yeah.
How big is the gas giant? It'll take you 3 days before nighttime comes.
Well, this orbit is pretty quick. So.
Okay, I'm just, I'm just saying. Cool.
All right. So you guys are waiting till nighttime. All right. So that's fine. That's fine.
I'm having fun if you want to go back to the ship. Give them some time.
Well, when I go back to this ship, there's something that's going to happen. So I think I want to get you guys done first.
Okay.
So we'll go ahead and wait till nighttime. So you guys remember how I gave you that con roll before? I'm going to make you guys do that again, but this time it's at a difficulty 4.
You said con insight, I think.
Yeah.
Mm.
Or reason. Reason or insight.
I got 2, 3.
Ugh.
There we go.
All right, you guys got it?
Yeah.
Yep.
All right, so you guys are going through and you're starting to see more signs like, there might be like rocks are moved, from looks like something went through there. There might be a bush snapped, that again looks like something went through. And since I have all this threat,
Enter the xenomorph. I did a scan, Ed.
enters a sandstorm, and I'm going to give a +1 complication range to all of your rolls.
Cool.
So you guys are in a sandstorm at night. Very hard to see.
Yes, it is.
So what we're gonna do here is as you guys are walking through this part, everyone give me a fitness security. This is a little bit more difficult terrain, difficulty 2.
Complication range is 2.
Yes.
Oops. I didn't put that.
Take a
You want me
3.
to reroll?
Would
No, you're fine. You didn't
Okay.
get a 19.
would survival apply?
Survival would.
Cool.
Does our fitness gear help us with the complication level?
Okay,
I'm just saying.
So for those that did not pass, you guys are more exhausted during this next part. Your guys. So for those who failed, the complication range will be 3.
Oof.
And with that complication, I will give that con person's roll a complication 4. Moving forward. So we just have that same con check, but this time at a difficulty 3, but with your increased complications.
All right, so its complication range would be 4 for me. And,
Dia, I think yours is 3. The Aurelian is at 4.
Right,
Uh-huh.
because I got a complication.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
everyone else is at 2.
Okay, cool.
Mm.
Sweet. She'll look to the commander and be like, "This is not Yosemite Valley. This is very, very. It's very hot." It tells you. She kind of points off in a direction, gauging the horizon, wondering like if she's right, and she commits to one.
It's nighttime
Direction.
now,
Yeah, to one direction.
This is
And,
nothing
she-
compared to the slave labor camps.
And she points, kind of waving her hand, and she looks like she's deciding with her finger, and then she finally points.
Counselor, are you telling us to go in a certain direction?
I would be guessing, sir. She says, what do you think? She says, I think they might have gone that way.
DeGrasse is going to look at the ensign. Say, Ensign, how you feeling?
I'll be all right, sir. I think the counselor may be right. Maybe they may have gone that way.
I just want to be clear that I can't make a medical roll, right, to make us feel better, right?
No.
Okay, cool.
Just need DeGrasse's roll.
Ah, that's right.
Two.
Nope.
Perhaps if you rest longer, sir.
The sandstorm picks up with intensity. +1 complication range. And make the roll again.
This is worse than my Burning Man program.
I would say quite a bit worse than a Burning Man program.
Oh, you know the program?
I've heard legends. There's been some social histories written about it.
You said complication raised by 1.
Yep.
Eat that.
Is it 4?
It is 3. I just
3.
need everyone's assist.
Okay.
I'll be damned.
All right,
With a
so
complication
technically,
range of 5.
technically, you guys have 2 momentum at the moment.
Jesus. Okay,
And,
can I
yeah, complication on the board.
Just wait. I think it's.
So what do you guys want to do with the buy it off? Okay.
Yeah.
Yes,
we're buying
it's
that
definitely this way.
Yes. Yeah.
All right, so you guys are traveling through the mountain passes, and you come to a cave entrance, and inside you detect 3 life signs, all human.
Birdman's like, you two, look up here.
DeGrasse is going to shout into the cave. Hello there. Is everyone all right?
We're here, you hear from the cave.
I will make my way
yourselves.
into the cave slowly.
One of them answers back, I am Lieutenant, what the hell's the name? Lieutenant Boyle of Outpost 519.
I'm Commander DeGrasse. We're here with an away team. We've come to rescue you, and he'll make his way into the cave.
All right, for sake of time, you guys get into the crew. You find 3 members of the Outpost team. They're a little worse for wear, but they are alive. However, 2 of the crew members did not make it, as they have succumbed to their heat strokes in the absence of proper supplies and medicine, and of course time. And with that, we will head back to the Monarch.
Okay, but before, I just want to make sure that we do not leave them. Like, are we able to transport them to the shuttle?
Yeah. Like,
I figure once the weather clears, I'll fly back, get the shuttle, bring it.
Yeah.
Just want to make sure that.
Yeah.
I don't want to brush over that. Just want to make sure.
Yeah, he'll repair what he needs to in the shuttle to get it airborne, transport everybody out, and you guys will be back.
Cool.
Right. So on the Monarch, you guys are still at the debris, and I have something that is about to happen. Nadon, I sent you a message. Maybe.
I will say, Captain, there's a Miranda-class ship dropping out of warp. I will provide the heading. It's currently at long range.
Open hailing frequencies.
There is no answer. And the
Red
ship
alert.
starts moving closer to you. It is
Red
now
alert.
in medium range.
Yeah, red alert.
All right, I gotta find the red alert. Where is it?
I'm not getting my pants caught down like Captain Kirk did. Not happening.
Or do you want the Voyager red alert or the TNG? So that was the Nemesis.
The Nemesis one's fine. So probably.
All right.
Lieutenant Casey, disable their engines.
All right. Someone wants to fire?
I'll probably have to roll for Casey. I don't know if anyone else has access to his sheet.
This will be a difficulty 3.
It said medium range, right?
Yes, but you're targeting engines specifically.
Ah, that's
so
right.
plus
Yeah,
1.
yeah, yeah. Do have no momentum. Yay. Shipboard weapon systems.
Yep.
It's control security, right?
Yes.
Take 3 threat. We're on ship power's pretty good. Spending 2 extra power, and then doing spread with this. Might get lucky on the spread. But yeah, 2 extra power for 2 extra dice.
So you get 2 momentum.
I gotta roll the ship. Oof.
Wow. Nice.
We go down to 3 power total. Math today, so we're at 8 power. So 2, 4,
So you're
6.
doing 8 currently.
8 currently. Devastating for the versatile.
Yep.
So that should be. What's the total? So it's 2, 4, 8.
So they would do half. So
10.
that would be.
Total's like what? It's 10, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
I think it was 12. Was it not?
Yeah, 12. So 12 half. 6 for spread. 6 for devastating. And then
still adjusted for scale, so that would be 2 with the other
right, but
ones. But their shields were down with that first attack, though.
Yeah, so it's still a breach from both spread and devastating as well.
Yep. So that would be 3 overall breach.
The shields go down with
Nice.
their shields went down with the first volley, right?
Yes.
So that's an extra breach. So 4 breaches.
Oh yeah, you're right. You are. All right, you hit their engines, and the ship's momentum carries it right to close range, where you detect a warp core overload.
Helm, move us away. Maximum warp.
And just as you warp, sensors register a large antimatter explosion, much higher than what a ship that size would produce.
Lieutenant Nadon, did sensors pick up anything the moment when the vessel came into sensor range?
Reviewing now, sir. I'll review the sensor logs and see if there was anything on them that would explain why it gave such a large explosion.
Give me an insight science roll. Difficulty 4. Assisted by communications and science.
Okay. Can I spend a momentum to get an extra die? Don't think I've done anything that makes my talents apply this time.
You said communication science?
Yes.
Oh. Is what it is.
What was the difficulty?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the ship, you estimate, was probably packed with extra explosives to make the explosion bigger, to actually try to do damage to something. Is what your sensors picked up from the ship.
Okay.
It's basically loaded up with more antimatter than normal.
Okay. So they have more antimatter. They had more antimatter on the ship than they should have. Aside from that, not much was picked up that I can discern.
Blackwell will go back over the sensors to get the NCC, the registration number, and look it up in the Monarch's database to see if that ship was still in service, where it was supposed to be, whatever information we have on it.
Did we get any readings from the sensors on life signs on board that vessel?
No, sir.
It's one of the missing ships, Captain.
Captain, if I may, and this may not be my place, but if I may, I would recommend, given what we've observed, that we think about notifying Federation and putting out an advisory for this area. It seems like, based on what we've observed, it seems like ships are intentionally being sabotaged to attack other ships in the area. We need to keep civilians away from here, sir. Would be my suggestion.
The real question is, where are the crews of those vessels going to?
GM, can I check the sensor logs and see if I can find and trace a warp trail?
There you go.
This will be Reason Con. Let's make this a difficulty 3. So this is by Sensors Con.
So difficulty 2?
Yep.
Alright, this is going to be a pretty bad one for me. Is there any... Let me see, hold on. Would ship's propulsion or warp field dynamics help?
No.
Alright, I'm going to definitely buy that. Use that momentum to buy one more dice. Ouch.
I'll give you my determination. I'd like to know where that ship came from. The reroll.
I did just reroll.
Still no. Marora, you have no clue. It's almost as if they were actively masking their warp signature.
Sir, I tried scanning for the warp signature, and it looks like it must have been masked. I don't find anything.
Good attempt, Lieutenant Commander. Ensign, set a course for the moon. Maximum warp. On where the way team might be in danger.
All right, we will head into scene 5. So on the planet, as all this was happening, you're able to get the shuttle close to them. You're able to get all the survivors aboard, the 2 deceased aboard, and you break orbit. As you break orbit, who is at the shuttle's ops?
Good question. Hey, I'll say me. Ah, that's great.
Where is it? We don't have. Oh, that sucks. Those never got put back on here. Anyway.
So you're saying that doesn't happen?
The phaser sound effect.
Ah, gotcha.
I was just answering Prax back. Anyway, for those in the shuttle, 2 phaser blasts are shot against your bow, and sensors detect what I sent to Gross.
DeGrasse will turn to the team and say, I've detected 2 small shuttle-sized ships. They look like they've entered orbit, and they're moving on an intercept course to us. And obviously, we took a few phaser shots to the nose. Everybody buckle up.
Are we still in atmosphere?
You just got out into space. And as you guys are talking, the 2 shuttles fly past your front cockpit window, and you could make out the shuttles. They are gray in color. They're very small, like almost drone-like size.
Mm-hmm.
They're gray in color with red accent lights.
Do we
Is this shuttle
recognize
armed?
They
the shuttle
seem
we're in?
The shuttle
sorry.
is not armed.
Okay.
Gotcha. We don't recognize the shuttle design or the drone design, do we?
No.
Okay.
she looks to the commander, says perhaps we could lose them on the planet.
DeGrasse is going to nervously turn to the ensign and say, you ready for a canyon run?
Always, Commander.
See what you can do. Impress me more than when we landed on this planet.
I'll do my best, sir. So, yeah, I will put us in a steep dive towards the planet below to do what the commander suggested. Do like a canyon run, evasive.
All right, Doc. I will let you choose the difficulty
Oh God.
that all parties have to get.
Oh man.
All right. So what? I'm saying the difficulty for this chase scene, basically.
Yep.
Oh, let's do a 3.
Did he get something upon activation for that character?
No, because it's first activation.
Okay. You got this.
And I'll give you a threat for a 3rd die. Definitely atmospheric flight as a focus.
Yep.
Here goes nothing. Haha.
Nice.
That's to buy a 3rd dice for both of my things. All right, so as you're you find this nice little canyon. You're able to outmaneuver one of them as it crashes in. Oh wait, no, yes, one of them as it crashes into the rocks. The second one is going to attempt to take a shot at you while in the canyon. And as he does it, he shoots like a overhang of rock, and it comes crashing down and lands on top of the other drone, destroying itself. You, sir, are now in the clear.
All right. I'll take us back up and lay in a course for the Monarch.
I will let out a little yip yip, like of happiness as I see that happen.
Sort of ruffle my feathers in delight.
I'll say, "Good job, good job." I'll try to pat him on the shoulder.
All right,
The grass is
again,
gonna turn, and yeah, accolades all around. So, good job, Ensign.
all right,
Thank you,
so
sir.
Looks like you didn't need those lessons after all. She looks at the grass.
The grass will shrug.
all right, so we'll enter the final part. Is just like a nice little debrief with you guys. I'll throw everyone in the conference room. The Monarch heads back to the planet. The shuttle rendezvous with the Monarch. Docking is fine. The survivors are taken to sick bay. Doctor does, you know, fills them full of fluids, solves their dehydration.
Right.
They, they handle the deceased and get the shuttle back, yada yada, and in the conference room. To share the information you have all received throughout the episode, of course.
When the doctor gets, well, the doctor. I'm sorry, I'm confused about which character I was playing. Yeah, but do we ever? We need to find out if we recognize those shuttle types.
Commander DeGrasse, what happened? Can you give me a report on what happened on the surface of the planet, on the moon?
Well, Captain, as you know, we were able to successfully rescue 3 out of the 5 station crew. They're currently being attended to in sick bay. The moon was quite hostile due to a variety of factors. It was coming down to the wire, but the ensign, I can't remember his name. I'll just say ensign.
Boyle. Oh no, Ensign. You're talking about the Birdman.
Yeah.
Canal?
Yeah, that one.
Canal Nay, yeah.
Yeah.
Canal Nay. Ensign Canal, exceptional flying. He's got a bright future ahead of him. Was able to outmaneuver what appeared to be 2, I'm assuming, pilotless drones. They had markings that we weren't familiar with. We weren't able to ascertain much about them at all, except that they were hostile and attempted to chase us down.
Was the shuttle able to record any video, any visual sensors from the attack?
GM? Yes, Captain. Would you care to review the sensor data?
Put it up here on the console if you don't mind.
Of course.
And playing on the screen, it shows the shuttles flying over the cockpit of the shuttle, showing the gray, sleek design with the red accent lights.
Do these look at all similar to the drone things that the Archon sent after the Hadfield long ago?
Or actually, you know what?
There's only 2 people in this room
Prax
that would
and
know.
yeah, Prax and Blackwell, give me an insight. Oh, insight con difficulty 1.
Oof. Not anywhere near my best. But I'm going to spend my determination if I can figure out a reason to.
Yeah, I rolled a 2, but I'm just gonna use my joint talent for starship recognition. Gain the focus.
Yep.
I'm rolling a 12.
Oh, well, never mind then. One of us will recognize it. Oh, I made it.
I'm gonna spend the momentum, just in case.
Was it difficulty 1 or 2?
1.
Okay.
Of course, I forget about that. That's 2. She just stops for a moment, looks at that. She looks over to Blackwell.
I meet her eyes. Oh my god.
Doctor, Captain.
I thought we took care of this 8 months ago. Apparently not. What's more disturbing is that she is way out here.
But the planet was destroyed by the...
No, not necessarily, Doctor. Only the subspace around the planet was destroyed.
She, sir?
It's the Archon.
An entity known as the Archon. Artificial intelligence created by from what reports say, a race long forgotten that died ages ago.
It's incredibly powerful. It does explain how it was able to subvert Federation vessels. Last time it was allied with the Orions. The Hadfield and Kismet were almost destroyed on the original planet where it was based. It's insane and absolutely terrifyingly bent on the Federation's destruction. We only narrowly escaped a release of a virus that he created that would have wiped out all life in the Federation and Klingon Empire.
So I take it that there are no survivors from the ships.
It
Wouldn't have taken
depends.
prisoners.
It depends on what her motives were. Before she was kidnapping individuals to supply a massive computer of some sort, at least according to the logs and records of the USS Azure some 120 years ago, or 110 years ago, correction.
Captain, if we're right and this is the Archon, this is a clear and present danger to the Federation's very existence.
It is indeed. I want station keepings on high alert. I want continuous sensor sweeps of the area. Notify of any ship movement. Any other
Captain,
further questions?
Captain, I recommend we institute the highest level of comms and transmission security. If it's using some sort of virus to take over ships, we don't want to get any more pathways in than we absolutely have to.
I'll notify Starfleet Command on that recommendation. If there's nothing else, you're all dismissed.
And with that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of Trojan Horse.